I don't know what you're listening to. I don't know what you're watching. I don't know what you're hearing, but technically we are in a recession. So the big question is, will this recession crash the New Braunfels housing market? And what's going on right now with the New Braunfels housing market? We're going to talk about all these things today, but first, let's talk about the R word, recession. By definition, a recession is an economic slowdown over 2 consecutive quarters, and that's 6 months. So according to the National Bureau of Economic Research, technically we are in a recession right now. Nationally, locally, here in Texas, and more specifically in New Braunfels, that's very much open for debate. Take a look for yourself. Number one, we're a tourist town. Number two, we have little to no government interference. New Braunfels is open for business when other places are closed. So you put those two together and you get this. Thousands of people, whether they're residents or tourists, enjoying New Braunfels every day of the year, not just during the summer, but it does peak in the summer with our 2 rivers and our huge water park. There's a ton of activity around town as well, a ton of events. Downtown New Braunfels, our historic district of Green, our big box shopping area, shops, Creekside area, our restaurants, grocery stores are packed almost around the clock. New Braunfels is just everybody's playground. So recession, nationally, technically, yes. Locally here in New Braunfels, I'm gonna say no, but not just based on what I just showed you, but that's a big part of it. But take a look at these numbers that back that up. Our sales tax collection in the city of New Braunfels is up 13% this year. So people are still spending in New Braunfels, whether they're tourists or residents. New Braunfels is not falling apart. So nationally, technically, yes, we're in a recession. Locally, I'm not seeing it. But the R word, it freaks a lot of people out because they associate it with 2008 and 2009, even though, guys, remember, we had a recession technically in 2020 during the first 2 quarters of the pandemic, but then it just went crazy wild and nothing bad came out of it. But if you go back to 2008, that's what we associate it with. Like, so we're gonna have a housing crash? Remember, the years leading up to 2008 is what caused 2008. The lending laws, the banks were a lot looser in their lending policies and lending rules and how much you can get, 100% loans, 110% loans, 120% loans. So you're walking to your home with negative equity. You got homes on stated income. So basically people who could not afford homes were purchasing homes. And when they got into their homes, they sucked all the equity out of their homes, which caused this flurry of foreclosures, which caused the housing crash, which caused the recession. So a recession doesn't always equal a housing crash. Take a look at these 3 graphs to prove that. Supply of homes is nothing like it was in 2008 and 2009, not even close. We're still underbuilt by far. Lending standards are under control now. We're not giving away homes anymore to people who can't afford them. And the number of foreclosures are down significantly since 2008 and 2009. It's like a blip today. All right, so here's, in my opinion, the biggest reason why the recession will not tank the housing market here in New Braunfels, simply because homeowners here have way more equity in their homes than they ever have before. And many of you who moved here the last couple of years can attest to that, and many of you who have lived here previous to those 2 years and the years building up or a long time can attest to that as well by ways of your property tax bill. The values keep going up and up and up here. So let's take a look at what's going on here in New Braunfels. Now, have I noticed, number one, fewer buyers in the marketplace, fewer people want to move to New Braunfels, they're just putting their plans on hold compared to last year, 2021, when money was very cheap and the market was raging with buyers. But guys, let's look at the whole picture here. Let's take a look at New Braunfels from March 20 through today, June, July 2022 in New Braunfels, 78132, which 78132 is our hill country area where the lots are a little bit larger, quarter acre, half acre, acre plus. The median home value has changed, and median home value in 78132 New Braunfels has gone up 56% in 2 years. Now, let's take a look at New Braunfels proper, 78130. Those homes are closer to the heart of New Braunfels, closer to all the events and activities. The median home value has gone up in 78130 by 64%. So Hill Country, 56%, 78130 City, 64%. And those home value increases are since March 2020, when our median home price here in New Braunfels was $245,000. Today, our median home price in New Braunfels is $382,000. So values just continue to rise here in New Braunfels. Like I said, fewer buyers in the marketplace and we have more inventory, but it's still a seller's market. A seller's market is considered up to 4 months of available homes for sale in the marketplace. And right now in New Braunfels, we have under 2 months of inventory of available homes for sale. All right, so let's get micro right now. Let's tell you what's actually happening in the housing market right now on the ground in New Braunfels. We sold this house in July in New Braunfels during a shifting market with higher interest rates, sold under contract in 72 hours, $10,000 over asking price. At the same time, we got a family into a house in New Braunfels, this one, for under asking price. And just this week, we submitted a strong offer over asking for our buyers on this house with great terms, but we lost out to an all cash offer. So 2022 is not an exact science, but homes here are still selling, whether it's under asking price, over asking price, at asking price, homes are still selling in New Braunfels. What's great about 2022, I think, is that buyers and sellers are sitting down at the table, looking at each other and negotiating, which is a far cry from last year when sellers were just having their way. And because the market has slowed down in New Braunfels a little bit this year compared to last year, it's given builders an opportunity to catch up on finishing their homes. The only problem is many of these homes are sitting unsold, so the builders right now are more than eager to make a deal. $41,000 off this one, and it went fast. So the builders are taking offers, not saying that you're going to get $41,000 or $50,000 off a house, but now builders are listening, entertaining offers from buyers. So that is New Braunfels housing market in a nutshell. Builders are saying, hey, come to us right now and let's make a deal. A recession is not going to cause a housing crash here in New Braunfels. Sure, there are fewer buyers in the marketplace right now, but there are also fewer homes. The inventory is still low, and homes are still selling, guys, for either under asking, asking, or over asking. If you guys need any more information about New Braunfels, anything New Braunfels, I would love to be your real estate resource of choice. You can email me, you can call me, or you can shoot me a text. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.